You make the rules. I cannot stress this enough. It's far too easy to get bogged down in techniques. I say this time and again. It used to be the theme of all of my videos, like a year ago. Technique doesn't matter. Technique doesn't do shit. Technique is just how you prefer to work. But the fundamentals remain simple and consistent. And those fundamentals are whatever you believe, whatever you hold within yourself. So we don't even need to, let me finish this thought actually. Whatever you believe, whatever you hold within yourself is what will reflect externally, is what your reality will become. Now, when we talk about belief, I think even that is not the right word to use. I see so many people getting stuck on this as well. We need to simultaneously refine and simplify. We need to expand and focus our understanding of belief. It really is what you hold within yourself. And that's all encompassing. How you speak to yourself, how you see yourself. Now let's talk about that. How you see yourself. This isn't necessarily the elements of your self-image that you are conscious of. You may not even be fully conscious of the way you speak to yourself. But that's, I think, a little bit easier to grasp. How you speak to yourself, how you see yourself. Not in the mirror. When you visualize yourself in the world, how you see yourself. I used to see myself vastly different to how I actually look. For whatever reason, I would default to this image of me with a much wider nose than I actually have. It's very specific, it's very strange. But that's how I used to see myself. And whenever I would look in the mirror, I was always surprised. So I don't know what that represented, but I'm sure that with a little analysis, I would figure out how that rippled, how that was reflected back at me in the physical world. And it may have simply been the fact that I thought I looked wrong. That how my nose sat on my face wasn't right, didn't match the rest of me. It could just be that. So how you speak to yourself, how you see yourself, how you approach life, how you talk to other people. Because this says a lot about you. There was a time in my life where I would make myself small for multiple reasons. Firstly, out of a sense of unworthiness, being shy, protection. If I'm small, I can't be hurt. And then as I became more confident, that tendency to keep myself small evolved. The reason for it changed, right? But it remained. Isn't that fascinating? Then the reason to stay small was because I didn't want to encroach on other people. You know, I still had things I wanted to say. I had knowledge in certain areas. I could help people, but I didn't want to force myself onto people. I didn't want to force my energy onto people. So I kept myself small. And so I remained small. I have to dodge the tourists. He says, as a tourist. So all this to say that you make the rules. You make them subconsciously. You make them consciously as well. And that's the point, right? That's the goal of all this, isn't it? To make the subconscious conscious. We want to consciously impress the subconscious mind. So to do that, we have to go within and we have to understand how we work. Not just how we work, but how you work. See, I had to figure out how this specific incarnation worked. how this body, how this soul in this body works. And you have to do the same for yourself. So we come full circle. We come back around to what I said at the beginning. You make the rules. I've been lurking anonymously on Reddit lately, just because I want to see where people are at. I want to see what people are talking about, and I want to read the kind of climate of the sentiment around manifestation. And I'm seeing it's bloody beautiful. I'm seeing a lot of people saying, guys, I get it. You need to understand there are no rules. The techniques don't matter. It's whatever technique works for you, and they're onto it. And I fucking love to see it. And every time, all I can say is, well said, spot on, you got it. And I'm so glad for you. No input necessary. And that's exactly right. So if you want to affirm, you affirm. Robotically, with gusto, doesn't matter. Whatever works for you. That's the point. And this may take some time for you to figure out, because it's not necessarily going to show up for you with like tingles and a beam of light saying, you got it, that's how you're meant to do it. When it works, you'll know how you're meant to do it. And frustratingly, I have to tell you, sometimes your preferred method is going to change. It has for me. But that's okay, we're always growing. We're learning more about ourselves. We are never a complete project. We work in stages and levels. You uncover, it's like archaeology. You uncover one aspect of yourself, and then you have to go deeper. I thought I'd found a secluded part of the ruins, but no. So if you want to affirm, you affirm. If you want to script, you script. If you want to visualize, you visualize. Visualization has worked for me in the past to tremendous effect. Working on my self-image, my self-concept has worked for me to tremendous effect. I've written songs that have come true. This was done not consciously. I just wrote songs, and then a couple of years later I'm like, wait a minute. So if you want to write songs and treat them as like spells, as like that's your manifestation, do it. You can be weird with it. You don't have to tell anyone. You can tell people if you want. They don't have to approve of it. So if you want to practice witchcraft, or you want to be a wizard and you want to wave around a wand, guys, literally it doesn't matter. You just have to desire it and want it. You have to want it more than anything. This is the paradoxical element of it, because you want to want, but you also want to let go. It's wanting without needing, without that desperation. And then you have to be emotionally capable of receiving it. So if you search within yourself and you go, yes, I want this, but is it scary? Can I believe that this being can have this?
Vaya piti.
And then you make space for it. And then you accept it as already being with you, already being done. That's the creation is finished aspect of it. It's already done. You're just waiting for time, for the reflection to catch up. It's like looking in a mirror, but there's like a 20 to 30 second delay. So if you keep focusing on what you see right now, which is really just the reflection of the past you, of course you're not going to be convinced that you can actually change, that you can make change. Before I get interrupted again, I want to finish on one of my favorite songs, Change Your Mind by Sister Hazel. If you want to be somebody else, change your mind. That's what it takes. As always, take what resonates and discard the rest.
piti.